Happy Halloween. Yes, I'm in costume, but I am not in my Piano Ninja costume. If you're listening on your podcast app and not watching on YouTube, you are missing out because I am in my Bumblebee costume, full decked out with stripe leggings, head thing, yellow sunglasses, yellow band. My dog Gina is a little bumblebee next to me. This is fun. And that was Flight of the Bumblebee, Rimsky-Korsakov, originally written for violin. And couldn't play with these gloves on, but they're kind of fun to wear. So happy Halloween. Nice to see you, and nice to be back with season 2, episode 2. And I thought today I'd talk about what I just relearned this really quickly in a few days. I don't know, 4 days and maybe 5 practice sessions, and going to talk about the finger work and how I little tricks for playing finger work fast, light finger work efficiently. Before I do, a few things going on. We have still the Piano Practice Collective, a group. I gathered a group of 5 other professional instructors to give you short 1 minute, they're all under 1 minute videos to help you have really quick practice wins, minds on learning how to get an hour's worth of progress out of 20 minutes. And I have 4 other piano instructors, and then a mindset musician coach who's a professional symphony player with a mindset tip. So that is at lisaspector.com/quick wins, available to you. And then each of them has an attachment, a free gift below their videos. So you're welcome to grab that while it's still available to you. And also coming up mid-November, I am going to be doing a masterclass, and possibly even a series of masterclasses from anywhere from 1 to 3 on time and practice tricks, because we are all scrambling for time right now. And I am recording this the week before the United States presidential election, which is a very stressful time for all of us. And I understand not only for Americans, for everywhere. So this Sunday on YouTube Live, I am going to be playing anti-anxiety music. It is not Flight of the Bumblebee. It is soft, slow, calming music, because we all could use some music to de-stress right now. So I'm just going to go over a couple of tricks that I use for fast finger work. So a couple other examples of music. I often, first season of the Piano Ninja Tricks podcast, I closed with the F minor Chopin Etude. And so that's another example of fast, quick finger work. It's just all over Chopin and all over a lot of composers. So really, really simple trick, which is it sounds so simple, but I see a lot of pianists not doing this. Keep your fingers really, really close to the keys. So if you watch, I just start the Flight of the Bumblebee. I'm not lifting, if you can see my hand on YouTube, I'm not lifting my fingers like this. I'm keeping them all really close. Let me demonstrate with the Chopin Nocturne. It's just a little easier for me. So my hand is really close. I'm not doing this. I'm keeping it really close. I'm keeping my hands closed. I'm keeping it light. For light finger work, I'm not playing very much into the keys. I call it like kind of surfacey playing. Same thing with the Flight of the Bumblebee. It's just on top of the key. It's really, really light finger work. And the other thing in Flight of the Bumblebee, while that's going on with my right hand, in my left hand, I'm using a lot of quick reflex motion where I am jumping really fast. So if you were watching on YouTube, I'm getting to that next beat a lot faster than I need to, so that I'm there prepared. I talk about this quite a bit in season 1. This is episode 3 in season 1. And then there's also a lot of hairpin crescendos and decrescendos. They're really quick in Flight of the Bumblebee. There's a lot of them that are just like these kinds of things that are loud and fast. So it sounds like a B, right? Um, I want to make sure that I apply those right when I'm learning the music. It's not something you add in later. Here's what happens. If you add it later, then what happens is that you've learned it one way, then you have to undo how you've learned it, and then you're adding a new thing. It's just an extra step that takes too long. So the very, very first time you play this piece under tempo, you're adding those hairpin crescendos and decrescendos. All dynamics are like that. You don't add them in later, because if you add them in later, you're used to doing it one way, and then you have to take that out and add something in, and that's what will slow you down. What will speed up your learning process is if you apply all that right away. And then the fourth thing is practicing backwards. I talk about that in season 1, episode 30. And when I say backwards, I don't mean literally backwards. What I mean is sections of it backwards. So let's take this last run of Flight of the Bumblebee. It's not so hard because it's a chromatic scale until it breaks the pattern at the end. So I have in slow motion, all chromatic, all the chromatic fingering. Then it changes. Then I have a whole step. So I want to incorporate that change right from the beginning. I'm going to first do like a 3 to 5 times. Then I'm going to do the notes, the beat before that, 3 to 5 times. Then I'm going to take it back a whole measure. And then I would do that 3 to 5 times and then start the measure before and so forth. It's a little bit like, I am not a runner, but I've talked to track runners. They always say if they had to run like 30 laps around a track or so, it's a lot easier for them when they count backwards. They know they're going to make it down to 1. So if they go 30, 29, 28, but psychologically, if they're counting up, it's a lot harder. So practicing backwards is a little bit like that. So those are just some little things to apply to almost not any piece of music, but at some point, any piece of classical music that you are playing. And Gina over here, how did she do that? She's already out of her costume. She's most dogs, she's paid well, but most dogs just tolerate costumes at the most, which she has done, but she has been paid well and she will get paid really well. So good girl. So we will be back next week in my Piano Ninja costume, not my Bumblebee costume, wishing you a fun Halloween. And I've also recorded a short version of this on Instagram. It's Instagram Reel. And it's just fun. Just fun music. So, and it just, hopefully it reminds you, that's, we play music. That's why we're pianists. We forget sometimes the joy in it. We forget that it is about having fun and at the piano. So you don't have to be in costume to have fun, but play some fun music today. Happy Halloween. Thanks for listening. And if you're listening on a podcast app, reviews are so greatly appreciated. And if you're watching on YouTube, comments are so greatly appreciated. It helps create more traffic, just how the algorithm works. So thank you so much for listening. I'm Lisa Spector, your Piano Ninja, and I'm not going to sign off with any music today. I'll see you next week.